Tonight, exciting news for frequent travelers. How Oswego County is providing relief at the gas pump this summer.
Plus, city officials revealing plans for a new park in Oswego, what that looks like and when to expect this.
Also ahead, a fatal helicopter crash out of Genesee County. The latest from state police.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
And good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Brian Ciccone.
And I'm Trina Catterson.
We begin tonight with breaking news. 2 people are dead after a Mercy flight helicopter crashed on a training mission in Genesee County. State police say the helicopter departed from its base at the Genesee County Airport in Ballavia around 12:50 this afternoon and crashed a short time later in a field on Norton Road in the town of Elba, about 3 miles from the airport.
According to state police, the 2 victims were the only ones on board at the time of the accident. The victims, Mercy flight helicopter pilot James Sauer and a Bell flight instructor. The National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA are both assisting the state police with the investigation of the crash.
I'm sad to report that earlier today the state police responded to the report of a Mercy flight helicopter that crashed off of Norton Road in the town of Elba. At this point we can confirm that there's at least 2 victims that were in the helicopter. At this point we don't know why that the helicopter went down, but we are working with the FAA and the NTSB. They're both responding to the scene and will assist us with the investigation.
Mercy Flight says they are suspending all operations until the investigation of this crash is complete.
Governor Kathy Hochul delivered remarks at the New York State Coalition Against Domestic Violence Legislative Day of Action today. There, she spoke about her mother and what she did to help fight against domestic abuse. She says that her mother became a champion, helping women to build the confidence to leave relationships they felt trapped in. Additionally, during her remarks, she addressed the spike in calls in domestic violence hotline since the start of the pandemic.
We have seen something that I call just an absolute travesty. I don't think at the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020 that we could have foreseen the long-term impact that the isolation, the disconnect, the forced time people had to spend together without having a break really did result in an extraordinarily high number of cases to our hotline. And case of domestic violence, our calls are up over 34% over the previous year.
Governor Hochul finished her remarks by emphasizing our need to care for these individuals in their time of need.
Switching gears over to weather now, meteorologist Taylor Haggerty joins us. Taylor, it's been beautiful the past few days despite the rain. Where can we expect these temperatures to go from here?
Thanks, guys. So yeah, the weather has been a little bit crazy the last couple of days. We've had those 70-degree temperatures, sunny skies, beautiful. Then yesterday those showers move in, and we even had a tornado last night down southwest of Rochester at EF0. I'll have more information on that after news later. So we can see some rain and possible snow showers coming up in the next couple of days. We're not going to see a lot of snow accumulation though. That'll be for Syracuse. I'll have more information on that plus more after your news. Let's pass it back to the news desk.
And now for the latest in Ukraine, a 3rd mass grave has been found near the city of Mariupol, according to the mayor. The Russian army is forcing locals to dig the graves. Gloria Pazmino has more on the story.
Time is running out in Ukraine. Good morning, sir. The United States sought to rally allies Tuesday, promising more support for the war-torn region as part of its ongoing effort to deter Russia's offensive.
The briefings today laid out clearly why the coming weeks will be so crucial for Ukraine. So we've got to move at the speed of war.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke at a meeting of defense officials in Germany.
Mr. Putin needs to make a decision to end this conflict. He's the person that started it. It was unjustified.
But Russia is showing no signs of backing down. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres met with Russian President Vladimir Putin Tuesday and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov.
I know that we have today, facing the complex situation in Ukraine,
According to the UN, Putin agreed in principle to evacuation of citizens at a steel plant in Mariupol. While U.S. diplomats returned to Ukraine Tuesday for the first time since Russia's invasion, the Pentagon is warning security in Europe remains at stake.
I think the policy of all of our governments together is a free and independent Ukraine.
As talks continue, Russian forces are stepping up their offensive in the south and east of the country. A third mass grave has reportedly been found near Mariupol. According to the city's mayor, Russian soldiers forced residents to take part in mass burials in exchange for food. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Vadim Boychenko, the mayor of Mariupol, says that 20,000 residents of Mariupol have died since the beginning of this invasion.
Gas prices have gone up again, as the average price of gallon is currently $4.23 across New York State, a 5-cent increase from last week. The recent slide on gas prices appears to be temporary, as prices are on the rise as the national average is up 4 cents since last week. And this morning, oil prices are about $100 a barrel.
A little relief at the pump is coming, though. Last week, the Oswego County Legislature unanimously approved a motion that would put a cap on fuel sales tax. According to this new plan, gas won't be taxed after reaching $4 a gallon. To put things into perspective, 15 gallons of gas at $4.50 would be nearly 30 cents cheaper. Those who frequently get behind the wheel around our area say the change in price would be an enormous help.
Delivery driver made it harder to delivery drive because they wouldn't reimburse us for gas, so we had to buy gas. I wouldn't be profiting because I'd spend all my money on gas money.
The freeze will go into effect from June 1st until the end of this year.
Harvard announced today that it is dedicating $100 million to create a fund to study its, quote, extensive entanglements with slavery. Harvard's attempt to reckon with this past is detailed in a report titled Harvard, The Legacy of Slavery. For nearly 150 years, from the college founding until Massachusetts abolished slavery, Harvard presidents and others enslaved up to 70 people. The report also acknowledges Harvard's wrongdoing and responsibility to redress the issue.
Demolition has started on the playground in Brightbeck Park. City officials are going to make way for construction of a new park that will begin in June of this year. The new park will feature Central New York's first wheelchair-accessible merry-go-round. It is designed to also include the city's recent projects like the water splash pad, mini golf course, and a concession stand.
A treatment for hospital patients suffering from COVID-19 has been approved for use in young children. Mandy Gator has more on what this means for kids in today's Health Minute.
It's the first COVID-19 treatment approved for children under 12. The antiviral drug remdesivir, an injection, can now be given to children as young as 28 days, weighing about 7 pounds, if the child is hospitalized or at high risk of getting severely sick. The number of new COVID-19 cases among U.S. children grew nearly 12% last week from the week before, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. Nationwide, new cases are trending up in about 3/4 of U.S. states.
Treatments are really the next phase of this pandemic.
The U.S. has now purchased 20 million treatment courses of another antiviral, Paxlovid. It's a pill that can be taken at home, but is only approved for those 12 and older weighing at least 88 pounds who test positive and are at high risk for severe COVID-19.
We want to make this therapeutic widely available to all Americans so people stop getting, particularly sick or dying once they get infected, if they get infected.
When Paxlovid was first authorized in December, the pills were in short supply. Now a top U.S. health official says pharmacies across the U.S. will soon be able to order the drug directly from the government.
We've got to be ready if Mother Nature throws another curveball at us.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
To add possible treatments and prevention of COVID, Pfizer is requesting emergency use authorization for children ages 5 to 11.
The Oswego County Health Department will be altering the vaccine clinic schedules to maintain operational efficiency with lower than expected patient numbers. The health staff will continue weekly clinics on Tuesday, but will move to a once a month on Wednesdays during the summer months. Vaccine clinics will be held every Tuesday afternoon and the second Wednesday of each month at the Nick Stereo Public Health Clinic.
Vice President Kamala Harris has revealed today that she has tested positive for COVID-19. On a Twitter page, the vice president wrote, and quote, "Today, I tested positive for COVID-19. I have no symptoms, and I will continue to isolate and follow CDC guidelines. I'm grateful to be both vaccinated and boosted," end quote. Harris's press secretary stated that the vice president has not been in close contact with either the president or the first lady due to travel schedules.
When we return, Taylor will have your full forecast. Plus, is aspirin safe to consume for adults? That answer ahead.
And also ahead, we'll tell you how LED lights could be the new normal.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.
Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna.
And this is the Sunset Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s.
Let's go, girls.
Uggs and low-rise jeans.
Together.
One of the boys, boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy, shebangy, shebangy.
Welcome to the burial ground. The most must-see show in all of sports entertainment.
Welcome back to the Kind of Lake Show, where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th, so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw him get up.
I did that. I can.
It's a winner, and I did bring you sweater for everyone.
There you go! I know your dreams. You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued.
Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.
Hey guys, I'm meteorologist Taylor Haggerty. Let's take a look at your weather for you guys. What do you guys have to expect for this week? Well, we could see some snow tonight into tomorrow. Don't worry, it's not going to accumulate to anything. We might not even see it. Syracuse is definitely going to see some snow. Oswego, we might just get showers. It could depend on the way that the front moves. We are going to have some sunny temperatures, 40s to 50s for the rest of the week. And it's supposed to start raining again early next week. However, we will have that sunshine this weekend for you guys. So let's take a look at the satellite. Right now, we're seeing a lot of cloud cover, and what I like to call these clouds are snow clouds. So we're seeing a lot of cloud cover. That's bringing in that front that's going to bring us our rain, going to bring that snow, which probably won't get any, but we'll see where it goes. And today in weather history, I'm going to fill you guys in on that tornado I was talking about earlier. So last night, there was a tornado confirmed in western New York around Alexander, New York, southwest of Rochester. It was an EF0 tornado. What does that mean? An EF0 tornado, 85 miles per hour. Not that strong of a tornado, however, it did flip some trailers, break some tree branches, damage some lines, and a couple of house roofs were a little bit damaged. It was traveled for 3/4 of a mile, 75 yards wide, which is a pretty small tornado when you compare it to any other ones that we get in this country, but it still did some damage, and it definitely makes weather history today. So let's take a look at tonight's forecast for you guys. So we can expect some showers starting late tonight. 36 degrees is our high. Winds are going to start out 7 to 12 miles per hour west. However, they are going to start gusting up after midnight up to the mid-20s. Make sure you have everything tied down. Going into tomorrow, we can expect a little bit of snow and rain. Like I said before, it's probably going to be more rain than snow. 43 degrees for your high. Winds are going to stay at that mid-20s mark, 20 to 22 miles per hour west. It could be mostly cloudy to partly cloudy for the rest of the day for you guys. And let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for you guys. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're looking at 40-degree temperatures. And looking at the rest of the week, this weekend we've got temperatures into the 50s, nice and sunny. Monday and Tuesday, nice and rainy with highs in the 60s. Let's pass it back to the news desk.
And thank you, Taylor. Now, time for your Consumer Watch. A new recommendation is questioning the advice that a small dose of aspirin a day can help prevent heart disease and stroke. Karen Kaffia explains what is driving the change.
Shifting recommendations in aspirin use could affect how you keep your heart healthy. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force now says the potential harm of daily use could outweigh the benefits for some.
If a drug can make the blood less likely to clot, it can make the person more likely to bleed, bleeding ulcers, or even bleeding in their brain, like a stroke.
The new guidance is based on a review of 11 clinical trials of low-dose aspirin use. Researchers found that while it did lead to a drop in major cardiovascular events, it did not significantly lower mortality rates.
Only when we continue to do these studies can we really understand whether drugs work. Aspirin is a drug that's been around for over a century.
According to the recommendations, in most cases, adults 60 and older who have yet to start taking aspirin to prevent heart disease and stroke should not start. For those who have already had a heart attack,
they should talk to their physician or a provider about whether it's smart for them to stop.
And for the first time, the task force is recommending adults as young as 40 who are at high risk of heart disease also talk to their doctor about starting an aspirin regimen.
The risk factors include things like high blood pressure, diabetes, tobacco use.
I'm Karen Kafa reporting.
If you are currently taking aspirin, it is recommended you only take one pill at a time, as aspirin becomes toxic if you consume too much at once.
President Joe Biden is reversing another Trump-era policy about light bulbs. The Department of Energy finalized new efficiency rules to phase out older high-energy light bulbs. Old bulbs that don't meet the new standard will need to be phased out of production within 75 days. The Department of Energy will work with manufacturers to ease the transition. Full enforcement of the rule will go into effect in July 2023, which is the deadline for retailers to stop selling them as well.
Lawyers in a class action lawsuit against Wells Fargo say the company's discriminatory mortgage practices are, quote, killing black opportunity. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump and lawsuit plaintiffs are calling on Wells Fargo's shareholders to approve an independent racial equity audit. Crump highlighted the pattern of racial discrimination experienced by a series of black Wells Fargo's customers. That includes actions like approving higher loan rates to black customers and fewer opportunities to refinance. Lawyers also urged mayors across the country to stop doing business with Wells Fargo's. A step was recently taken by New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Shares of Tesla have gone down by 10% as investors begin to digest the prospect of CEO Elon Musk using his shares to pay for Twitter. Tesla was trading at $900 today at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time. That is also down by more than 20% since the beginning of the month, when Musk became Twitter's largest individual shareholder. This happens after Tesla CEO Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion yesterday. Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell had this to say when he was asked what his thoughts were on the situation.
Incredible event. It'll be interesting to see what impact it has on the way Twitter operates. But we're all watching it with a great deal of interest because there's certainly been our share of complaints about the way it's been run in the past.
Elon Musk has stated an interest in making Twitter more freedom of speech friendly.
And coming up, Aaron Valentino has your sports.
So Aaron, could you give us a quick preview?
Sure, Trina. The Oswego State baseball team takes a drive down to Ithaca for an out-of-conference matchup. Two big games tomorrow coming up for both Oswego State lacrosse teams. Plus, is the Mets magic back? And did KD and Kyrie get it done in Brooklyn last night? That's all coming up right after the break.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
Look at that, it's so sad.
Here's our weather outlets and our social media on Saturday. And that's all.
Oswego sports are now in the home stretch for the SUNYAC playoffs. Can they all get it done? Good evening, everyone, and for one final time, I'm Aaron Valentino. Let's start with some baseball as the Oswego State Lakers took a day trip to Ithaca, New York to take on the Bombers. Oswego stomped Ithaca by winning by a final score of 11-0. Paul Tamaro and Lucas Olson had 3 hits in the contest, while Thomas Pekovic pitched 5 innings of scoreless ball, and Oswego's next game is a big one against their Central New York rivals in the Cortland Red Dragons this Friday at 3 o'clock. Coverage for WNYO begins at 2:30. Oswego women's lacrosse looks to keep their playoff hopes alive tomorrow as they will travel to Brockport to take on the Golden Eagles. The Lakers haven't beaten Brockport since 2016, so they will look to get off to a hot start tomorrow. Oswego will then wrap up their season Saturday in Oswego at Laker Turf against their good friends in the Plattsburgh Cardinals. Let's stick with the turf now, as after taking a tough loss to Oneonta on Saturday, the Lakers now just have 2 games left to try and make the SUNYAC playoffs. The Oswego State men's lacrosse team, that is. To do that, they'll have to make history tomorrow as the Cortland Red Dragons will fly into town. Oswego has never beaten their Central New York rival as they are 0-38 all time against Cortland. You can catch this game tomorrow on WTOP 10 at 4 o'clock. Back to the diamond now, as yesterday Mets fans got a taste of some of that sweet Mets magic. With 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning against the St. Louis Cardinals, the Mets rallied for 5 runs, including a 2-run homer from center fielder Brandon Nimmo to take the lead and eventually go on to win that game. The Mets currently in action right now against the Cardinals, where that score is 2-0 New York Mets in the top of the 5th. Let's take it down to Brooklyn in the Barclays Center. There you see Kevin Durant getting ready. Nets trying to avoid being eliminated. We're going to start with Jaylen Brown in the second. He slams it home. The Celtics, they're trying to face the Bucks in the next round. Kevin Durant trying to tell the faithful in Brooklyn he doesn't want to go home yet. A big-time shot. Celtics 90-84, up 6, 10 minutes to go in the 4th. But then it's Jason Tatum. Book it, folks. Tatum, he would have 29 in this one before fouling out. Now it's Durant. Dragic, he's all alone. He shoots. He's got it. The bank is open. It's raining threes in Brooklyn, as here's another one right here from Kyrie Irving. Is he vaccinated? We don't know, but that's a 3-pointer right there for the Brooklyn Nets. Now here's Kevin Durant going up big and strong. Nets down 2-1, with a minute to go. But here is the kicker. Jaylen Brown driving in, loses the ball, regains control, goes up with the layup. Nets still have a chance, and this would end it right here. Marcus Smart, he goes up, misses the shot, but Al Horford puts it back in, and that would do it. Brooklyn, their season is over. They lose by a final score of 116-112. KD with 39 points in the contest, but that's it. Brooklyn, they are going home. We'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News at 9.
Only on WTOP.
DiCarlo on the rebound! Alex DiCarlo!
Yeah, it's been a wild game so far. A lot of high scoring, so definitely tighten it up and play out that full 60 minutes.
Welcome back to the best show on WTOP 10 out on our own Oswego.
Did you hear that Bad Bunny is going to be in Canada over spring break, you know?
I heard that one.
Drink cognac. The week.
Oh my God.
Roll it.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
And welcome back, everyone. It's time for the cutest story of the night, our adorable pet of the week, provided by our friends at the Oswego County Humane Society. Let's take a look at it.
This fine fellow enjoys a leisurely life, appreciating human friendships and the finer things life has to offer, like carrots and hay. Here he is, 3-year-old Frank. If you're interested in Frank or any other adoptable pet available at the Humane Society, you can email info@oswegohumane.org. That email should be on your screen.
That seems pretty cute. So, Taylor, you want to give a final check of the weather?
I mean, we're going to have sunny skies this weekend, but we're going to get back into those high temperatures on Monday and Tuesday, but at what cost with bringing all that rain to us? So we get our good weather, but then we also get the really horrible weather.
And it's definitely bittersweet for Aaron and
Yes.
I here in the studio. It is Aaron and I's last night here at this live show, so I just want to give a big thanks to everyone here at the table and everyone behind cameras too, back there in the studio, back there. It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 4 years. I've been sports anchoring here at WTOP 10 for 6 out of the 8 semesters I've been here. It's been an honor and pleasure working with you all, and hopefully, I'll see you real soon.
Thank you very much, Aaron and Trina. We hope you all have a good night.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna.
And this
Back
is
there
the
in the
Sunset
studio.
Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s.
Let's go, girls.
Uggs and low-rise jeans.
Together.
One of the boys, boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy, shebangy, shebangy.
Welcome to the burial ground. Must-see also in all of sports entertainment.
Welcome back to the Kinda Late Show, where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th, so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw him get up.
I did that. I can't.
It's a winner, and I did bring a sweater for everyone.
Here you go! I know your dreams.
You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued.
Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.